Hey, it's Casey Cole Corbin. Today we're going to talk about your strategy plan, being a fluid art teacher, how to grow your business. And so we have some instructions for you in this post. If you look right above me, you'll see that there's a link to be able to get your own version of the updated strategy plan. So many of you that came in a year ago into the program, you filled out an old strategy plan and we made some updates and some modifications to it. So, and the way that we're doing it is much different so that we can have the accountability, structure, and support of your strategy team. And so we'll call it that. So hey, if you're listening to me, go ahead and say hi in the comments. Click the StreamYard link in the very bottom of the post below. If you've never shared your information, you have to just go in there, click, says it's okay to tell me your name on my on my board so I can see who I'm talking to. So I'd love to see that. So once you click in the above link, there'll be a link that goes to a Google Doc. You'll come to a screen that just simply says copy, your own. So you just hit that blue button and it makes your own copy, and you have to be signed into Google. If you're not signed into Google, or if you don't have a Google account, why not? It's really great and it's free and it's you can use it so well. And to be honest with you, where we're going in the next year in this program, you'll really need to have a Google. So it takes just a few minutes to set up. You're going to love it. Okay. Works great. If you're familiar with Word, you'll know immediately how to use a Google Doc. All right. And so I've shared mine with you here. So again, you can follow the instructions above. Is click on that link. It'll take you to the opportunity to click a button that says make a copy for you. And then once you do, go in there and you save that one as your own name. So let me just show you mine. And here where it says Casey Corbin, it has a all run together word that says your name here, right? With no spaces or anything. I did it that way so that you can just double click on it and then type away. And we did all of our answers to each one of the questions that way as well. So in the space where it's time for you to put an answer in, you just double click on that and then just type away. All right. So let's talk about our strategy plan here. Let's make this just a little bit bigger. Your strategy, this is your homework, and then what you're going to do is after you complete it, you will also share yours just the same way that I shared mine in this group. So the one that we're looking at right now has also been posted in a comment in this group, and you can pop that up and you can look at it. And the cool thing is that you can make comments on it. And so we'll talk about that at the end today, is that you can share yours in such a way that nobody can edit it, but they can make comments that can be very, very valuable to you. And so I am open to your input. So if you have a suggestion for me, please comment away. I'd love to see that. All right. And then I will do the same for you. And so we'd love to see people sharing their plans. I know that that's a little scary and be vulnerable, but hey, this is how we grow. All right. So it starts off with your strategy session homework. And these are the elements of a strategic plan. You need to type in your responses, and then you'll submit this to your strategy accountability support team for refinement. Find members of your personal SAS team in the community. And also, if you're an accelerated member, this is a great thing for us to use our time in the mastermind call, which will be next week, actually. All right, so you fill out the form, you click the share button like we talked about. I get a shareable link, and then you'll choose that anybody can comment on this, and then you'll share that link in the group whenever we're done. We'll review that one more time towards the end. So if you're not following that, don't feel too lost, okay? This is the introductory statement. Let's just peruse it real quick. You've got an introductory statement, a background statement, an organizational structure, your vision, your values, your mission statement, your problem statement, which is the things that you need to overcome right now, and then which includes your strengths, weaknesses, your opportunities, the threats to accomplishing your goals, and then of course your goals. And then there's a final evaluation, which just says, basically how are you going to evaluate whether or not you've accomplished your goals or not, and then a summary. Okay, so that's the entire plan. And I plan on just perusing mine for the next 10 minutes or so. And that, as an example to you, yours should not look like mine. You should have a very different plan, of course. and yours will be different for your market, what your goals are. I've been doing this for about 2 years, and so my goals have shifted and changed, and you might even pick up something from that's of value to you to get you a little ahead of the game. So that's part of the reason for joining a membership program like this, is so that you can move quickly and not have to reinvent the wheel, and not you have support whenever you stumble and fall, and people can help advise you as far as how to overcome that. All right. Okay, so the first area is the introductory statement. And this is basically talking about who's writing it, why are you writing it, what time period is going to be involved there. So very simply, Casey Corbin created this plan to grow the dynamic fluid art teaching business over the next year with the help of staff and virtual assistants. And so that's all who are involved. The next area is your background statement. And this is information about the organization, including your history, how you manage it, if there's any other partners or agencies that you are linked with, and you just kind of include it as a brief business statement. And so you can, if you ever heard of an elevator pitch, that's the idea, is that you can say, if someone says, hey, what do you do on an elevator? And you have a maximum of 3 minutes that you can briefly describe what it is that you do, preferably under 3 sentences or shorter. All right, be able to concisely describe your business. And so StoryBrand is a great book and teaching opportunity to be able to, I highly recommend that you read it, to be able to tell the story of your business. And so this is a real brief way of being able to do that. And so I would say Dynamic Fluid Art started in 2016, offering classes to non-artists and wannabes, people that are attracted to learn new art techniques and find a therapeutic atmosphere in which they feel free to tap into their previously dormant creativity. They enjoy themselves deeply and invite friends to return on a journey with my business. And so if I can custom this a little bit for right brain thinkers and left brain thinkers, okay? If you've never studied that, it's not quite as simple. Neurobiology is a huge topic, but right brain thinkers are normally creative, more free spirits, and left brain thinkers are very logical and usually like to follow rules and structure. Okay, so if I'm talking to right brain thinkers, I might say I help people to be able to find joy with creative expression in fun ways. If I'm speaking to left brain folks, business people, for example, I might say I train people to develop their skills of ingenuity. I like that term now, by skills of ingenuity. You might want to work that into your own marketing messaging. And higher level problem solving utilizing creative exercises. All right. So I really do feel like that we have something to offer corporate trainings, executive coaching, people that nowadays you just don't need information. You need to be able to individualize and take that information specifically to a company's particular problems or what they're trying to accomplish in creative ways. So I think the new and highest intelligence form is going to be creativity, and we have an opportunity to be able to help people with that. The next section is your organizational structure, and this can just be as simple as I'm just a sole proprietor, all right? But I also link with other businesses such as art centers and other people to do joint venture partnerships. What's your vision? Well, mine is that Dynamic Fluid Art desires to help art interested and art disinterested people gain skills through creative freedom and expression, and utilizing the immediate gratification that only fluid art really has to offer. All right. To the art interested, I'm targeting that messaging to hobbyists and artists who want to be able to express themselves through an art media and be able to learn fluid art techniques in order to integrate them into their other disciplines. The art disinterested this is an application for business. We kind of talked about that. So in 2020, I'm joining the local Chamber of Commerce in my area and become heavily involved in marketing to businesses for team building and leadership ingenuity skill development. You can kind of see where I'm going with that. And by the way, you can do that too. These are not copyright. You can borrow my ideas and see where they take you in your own individual way. All right. What's the values of the company? Well, the Dynamic Fluid Art staff and partners strive to offer value beyond the class. It's our endeavor that our students have a fun and relaxing experience learning the art, but they also take away a new leash in their creative life and are inspired to grow further, having fun while building their intelligence of ingenuity. All right. So what's our mission statement? Here's an example of our mission statement. Again, don't copy mine, but these are just ideas for you. Dynamic fluid art products and services are fun experiences like a paint and sip class, but also have transformative goals for each student to awaken their creative practice. This affects every decision that we make, including the venues that are carefully selected for maximum impact to be able to create a space away from our clients' negative stressors so that they can indulge in creative play and skill building. Problem statement. Now, this one kind of breaks down into what we call a SWOT analysis. A SWOT analysis, the SWOT, S-W-O-T, stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. All right, so you can remember that. Think of a SWAT team coming in to solve a critical problem. So you have you start off with your problem statement, which is a little bit generic. So one that I might have is consistently reaching new sets of people, marketing today, and breaching the overnight weekend retreat arena. All right. I have scheduled several day retreats this year. I have yet to schedule an overnight retreat, which is on my list of goals that you'll see here in just a second. My strengths are that I have previous success, I have a reputation, I have word of mouth referrals, I have local and social media following. All right. So my weaknesses is that I have exhausted my low hanging fruit. So when you come into this business and you start off, you'll be able to pick that low hanging fruit, see our 5 Ps marketing structure to talk about that, another course. And so I need to be able to connect with the next level. This is my ideal client avatar, and I'm actively looking for connector people. All right, we talk about that within this program. Connector people to connect me to groups of ideal students. So I'm constantly looking out for that. What are the opportunities that I have? Well, I've started building my email list over the last year, and perhaps the connectors that I need for the next level opportunities are already on my list. Maybe they're already in my reach. And so another opportunity that I have is I have a good reputation and goodwill in the community, and having done quite a bit of charity work. What's the threats that would possibly be an obstacle to being able to accomplish my goal? Well, the threats is tapping out on the low-hanging fruit. All right, the easy pickings I've already picked, and so other art teachers and are also teaching fluid art in this community. Again, I don't believe in competition. I believe in cooperation, and I think that there's an opportunity with anybody who is also teaching fluid art, and that's my approach in all areas of my business. Then what are my goals? All right, so we could break this down. This could be a very large section, but I didn't want to go into too much detail here because we talk about something called SMARTY goals, and we can do more training on SMARTY goals if you like. So let me know if you're interested in that. But just real simply stated that 2 big sectors in 2020 for my business is that I want to do 2 of those overnight retreats in 2020. And so those will be weekend retreats sometime in 2020. And then I want to do 8 corporate team ingenuity building. All right, so we referred to that a little earlier. So if you're unfamiliar with SMARTY goals, I've kind of modified SMART goals. Maybe you've heard about those. The SMART stand for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. And then I add an I to that for an incentive to make it SMARTY. Because we need, when we accomplish a goal, something that we don't really do very well for ourselves is celebrate those things. And so if you plan them out, and maybe even you tell your family, hey, if I accomplish this, we are going to go on out to dinner, or we're going to go to a special place, or we're going to buy this neat thing, and we're going to use that to celebrate our victories. And you know, there's a lot more to that than we give credit for, because let's say that you do buy something that the family would really enjoy. You know, let's say that one of those big, large hammock swings, right? Maybe they're $300 or $400. And so then for years to come, every time you get on that hammock swing with your family, you are remembering, we have this hammock swing because I accomplished that goal. And that reinforces the whole identity of being somebody who accomplishes goals. All right. Then evaluation, and this uses something that we call key performance indicators. Now you can click that link, you'll see that blue area there. It will take you to a rather lengthy web page that talks about key performance indicators. If I were you, if that term is unfamiliar to you, I'd go on there and I would just scan it. they're trying to sell you a dashboard that measures your key performance indicators. And that's really for our higher corporation type things. Probably none of us would utilize the software that they're offering for that. But you can get an idea about what key performance indicators are by just scanning through the document. But the idea there is that we are going to be looking at some specific areas, and we're going to be seeing if they are being accomplished or not. And so the first thing you need to do is you need to go, what is my metrics? How am I going to, what's my measuring stick? How will I know that it's done? With any kind of goal accomplishment, there's a point in time in which the goal is not accomplished, and then something happens and now it's accomplished. And so bam, we can check that off. We can say they bought, or they're doing something, or I'm accomplishing something. And we need to be looking at those measurable metrics of how we're achieving our goals. And so for me, I said profit. So we can that's a usual go-to. Dollar signs and numbers are very good metrics for how am I doing, this quarter as opposed to last quarter. Referrals, the number of people that are inviting their friends to attend classes with them in the future. That's something that you can measure, right? You can look at your class, or you're chit-chatting, or beforehand. You can see how many people have attended before, and so that's another metric, the returning students, and how many people brought other people with them, and that's a huge metric, to keep track of. If you have a class with a dozen people and 3 of the students are there because their friends attended before and they recommended that they come, or they came with them, you are doing some right stuff. All right, so you want to keep that up and feel really good about that. You also might have referral programs where people, if they bring a friend, you punch a card or you keep track somehow, and they, they have 3 friends come and then they go for free, to the next one, something like that. And then shares on Facebook. And so your Facebook business page, and you're putting really neat content. We've talked about how that content needs to be in 3 areas. Something needs to be fun and interesting. The other one is helpful and then specific to why they're coming to you. So it'd be like a fluid art technique. It'd be really easy for us to be able to share. And then also the sales, that you're marketing a upcoming class. And so that your posts and your emails, just follow that third rule there. And then you can track those, that people are sharing. You can see, oh, look, I got 13 shares, on this page, right? And you can track your goals. It's another metric. The last one that I'm got on my list is the number of steps people are taking in an ongoing journey with my business. All right. Are they doing, what's the next step? Have they subscribed to my newsletter? Are they purchasing additional products or services? And of course, are they returning for additional classes? You need to develop your priorities. And here's a real simple list with these metrics. Is 1 is profit. 2, for me, 2 is increased followers, maybe on Facebook, or increasing on my email list. 3rd is brand building. Is my brand name getting out there? Is it being recognized? And so the metric that you could follow is how many times your logo was shared, in a video, or in a post, or in advertising, or in paper flyers, or hanging up in bulletin boards in your area. And then 4 is goodwill, probably the hardest one to be able to follow. But what are you doing as far as your efforts to get your name of your business out there and associated with goodwill of people that are following you? Okay, so then we're going to move on to the executive summary here as well. All right, the last section is just kind of a quick summary of everything else that you talked about, so that you could quickly tell other people, but really for yourself, to encapsulate what is the strategy plan doing for me. And so mine is Dynamic Fluid Art is on a journey with our clients. We are increasing our value to our community, and Dynamic Fluid Art is crossing new thresholds into the retreat arena, and also offering direct services to businesses. All right, so once you get yours filled out, and don't get too bogged down about it, right? We get this analysis to paralysis and this freeze. We don't want to do that. We want to get it done and then post it, right? So just if everybody would just take the approach that it is not complete, this is my first draft, if you will, and I'm open for input. And then you'll see at the top of yours, let me see if I can show mine. Okay. Make sure that you can see that. See that blue button on the top that says share. Let me see. I need to blow you up to be able to see it. Oh, okay. My logo is covering it. Let's see if I can take that off. Boop. Okay, so there we go. So see that blue button up there where my logo used to be, and that's the share button. And so you want to click that. When you share that, it will take you to a pop-up screen. Will say, how do you want to share this? And I would love to do this with you, but every time I have tried, it goes off screen. So let me just see if I can. All right. It worked. Okay, good. All right, so from here, you go into anyone can comment, and that is the way that I have mine set. Yours might be different. So you click this down arrow button, and you see that you have 3 options. And the way that you share this is that you can share it so that anybody can edit it. I would not recommend that. Or that anybody can comment. That's what we want to do. And then anybody can view. And so that could just, if you didn't want anybody to comment on it, you could just share it in the way that they can only look at it but can't comment. But why the heck would you want to do that when you can get free input? All right. So you click anybody can comment. You come over here and you click this copy link, right? So that's highlighted. You don't have to even do Control-C or anything. And then you're done. And then you can go back to this, and then you click this link right here is what's called a permalink to this live that I'm doing right now. And so unfortunately, if I click off this, it won't show you where it goes to next, but it'll just go to the very post that you're watching this video in. And then in a comment, you can now then go and then just paste it in there. And that'll give other people opportunity to be able to see what you have done and maybe make some comments for you. All right. So that'd be cool, wouldn't it? All right. Well, guys, that kind of wraps up what we want to do with the strategy plan. And I would love to see you posting your documents in there. And I'll see you. I'm going to try to come on live for a real brief every Wednesday. And so I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.